Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And we welcome you to a Thursday edition, a Sliders Oyster Bar Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Terry Norvelle coming to you, obviously not from the patio at Sliders, as normally we are. I'm laying low a little bit doing the show this week from the house. You may or may not be aware. Nothing really pressing. I went through a medical procedure on Friday. It was all scheduled. Nothing out of the ordinary, out of the blue. Kind of doing a little recuperating. And, if you've gone through anything like that, a little bit of surgery, you kind of get a little squirrely getting too far away from the house. So all of our wonderful on-location sponsors, Hurricanes, and obviously Sliders, they understand, and we'll be back up. Sitting on the showroom floor, if you will, at our sponsors next week as we rock and roll and bring you the Young and Norvelle Show. Glad to be here on a Thursday, another hot one, as a lot going on. It really is a lot going on. It's a little bit of an overlapping as we're about to turn the page on the calendar to August. We have our very first of about 100 nationally based, at least regionally, and a lot nationally, broadcasts of NFL practices, if you will. Tonight, the first NFL national practice will be on TV. The Hall of Fame game, Chargers, Lions, I think it is. We'll all do what we do every year. You deny it, I deny it. We'll do it every year. We wait. All right, tonight, football season. All right, tonight. What does it come on? 8:30, probably 8:30, probably 8 o'clock. They want to do all kind of concerts and things like that, probably. But we'll all sit down. They will finally tee it up, kick it off, and about 6, maybe 7 minutes into the game, and I use quotation marks, into the game, we'll start looking up and saying, wait a minute, this guy right here, that running back that just carried the ball for the Lions, if I lived in Detroit, he would be selling me a T-Mobile phone in about 3 weeks. And you go, but I guess you can say football season is finally here. About a month away from the college guys playing the different. Certainly, there are differences in college and pro football. We all know that. One of the big differences, and I like the way the college, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all that college doesn't have any preseason games. I love the fact. And college football is one of the few sports, I'm trying to think of any other sport that really doesn't have preseason practice. They don't have a game. They have spring training games, basketball, training camps. I guess they don't necessarily, they may now play some games, but you don't really have preseason college football games. I kind of like that. It's one of the charms, I think, of college football. When you tee it up week 1, game 1, when that ball goes on the tee, first time. It's the first time. But anyway, NFL fake football tonight gets started. It'll last about a month or so, maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't know if it's longer than that, but they take about a 2-week break from the end of the preseason. They take like about 10 days off, a week and a half or so, to get all the way past the Labor Day weekend, and they kick off on that Thursday of Labor Day week. So, NFL talk, Jaguar camp talk. 2 players helped off the field today. Ransall, the safety, and you're hearing he was helped off. They're only calling it a lower extremity injury. Don't have an idea, but starting to hear a little bit that it may be a few weeks. So Ransall vying for some safety playing time. Looks like he's the first significant injury. Cole Van Landen, a backup offensive lineman. I guess he's been a backup offensive lineman trying to solidify that spot. He also was taken off, I understand it, today, and nothing really reported more than that. But Ransall, kind of the big news today out of camp, leaves practice, lower body injury. A couple of weeks, you're kind of reading different things that say some people are thinking maybe a couple of weeks. Nothing official on that, except those 2 guys went down today at practice. Good news off the field. Dennis Gardeck, the kind of journeyman special teams player that obviously the Jaguars cared enough to go sign him off the street. several months ago. He has now been removed from the PUP list. That's good news. You add one more player, and he's a 7-year journeyman, 150-something tackles in his career, most of those on special teams. 7 years, 17 total tackles in 7 years, a couple interceptions in 7 years, 4 fumbles recovered, 156 tackles. So that tells you, I would guess, 70-80% of those tackles are probably special teams, or at least 50% of those. So should be a veteran. Good to see a guy like that get back on the field. You can always use some blood and guts kind of special teams guys. So that's good news. No news on Mason Smith coming off that PUP list, and that's a concern. Now, this is year 2 for Mason Smith. He's probably on year 5 of potential because he spent a 3-year career, I think it was 3 years, at least 3 years, at LSU under the potential. He was a high recruit. Remember him coming out of high school when he was way up on the D-line recruiting board for everybody. Could have picked any school he wanted to go to. Went to LSU. Played a little bit. Hurt a lot. Didn't do a whole lot. Just keep an eye on this guy. I'm not saying his career's over, but it's troubling. It's troubling, and really nothing has been officially released on why Mason Smith has been put on the PUP list, physically unable to perform. Some whispers are just poor shape, just in absolutely poor shape. And if that's the case, that is really concerning. Really concerning, not so much is he a talented football player or not, does he want it? I mean, here's a guy that has really yet to live up to any press clippings since he walked out of high school. And the press clippings were big, but I mean, he's failed to live up to any press clippings. And man, if it turns out to be he's missing time, just can't get in shape in the offseason now that he's a professional. Wow, you got to worry about that a little bit. Today, also on the field, looks like Travis Hunter had an interception. Continues to shine no matter which way, which side of the which huddle he goes to. Travis Hunter, Josh Hines Allen, supposedly another really solid performance out of him. Again, that's that good and bad. Is that real good? Is that good? Is that good and bad for the Jaguars as a team? Because again, there's just, a lot of stuff you got to dig up on the internet. People are at practice. Somebody hurt somebody this, somebody that. Not a lot of official stuff released for the team. Reading some tea leaves and things, there seems to be some people that are starting to maybe whisper a little bit about the offensive line. They're starting to have concerns about the offensive line. Can this offensive line protect Trevor Lawrence? And you're starting to hear that some people seem to be talking about tackle positions, both tackle positions. Concerning. Nothing new if you're in this camp. I've been concerned about the offensive line for 2 or 3 years. And, that is concerning. That's question mark number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, for the Jaguars. Can they put any semblance of a average to good offensive line on the field? That is the first thing that I would check off. If I said, I'll tell you what I think the record's officially going to be if you tell me what kind of offensive line play they're going to get. I think they're going to get an average at best offensive line play. I would have used I would have stayed at 5 and got the best offensive lineman I could have gotten. I've said that a million times. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong as it plays out. And I certainly would have gone big ugly. You've heard the phrase from me a billion times. Big ugly more than big sexy. I think this franchise for this year and the next 3 or 4 years needs much more big ugly lines of scrimmage muscle than big pretty, big sexy. The wide receivers for the world, the quarterbacks for the world, the cornerbacks of the world. So Jaguar Talk, we hope to have Patrick Young on in a little bit today here on the program. Also, we will have Dr. Bates 1 day late, but we were off yesterday. We had to take the day off. I struggled a little bit yesterday, and it got close to showtime, and I just decided I better not get on the air. So we did not have Dr. Bates, our Southeast orthopedic specialist, sports medicine discussion. So we hope to get Dr. Bates on today about 5 o'clock to catch up from there. North Carolina SEC. Let's get into that talk as well. I'm very, very intrigued about The rumor that's been floating around a couple weeks now. It's been tossed around. I've thrown it out there. A lot of people have. We'll dive into that, and I'll give you my thoughts on does that have legs? Will it happen? I'll give you my thoughts. Major League Baseball trade deadline less than 2 hours away. 6 o'clock. That's it. You can change your team, your roster, as much as you want, really, until 6 o'clock. So less than 2 hours. There have been some moves made. Probably the biggest move offensively, the biggest move that was made has already gone down, and it involves probably the best power bat that would be available, tradable, and that move has happened. Arizona has sent Suarez, their starting third baseman, Suarez, 37 home runs already, 87 RBI, big power hitting bat that's available, biggest bat that's available. He has moved from Arizona. They sent him to Seattle. The Mariners really still in striking distance of their division, chasing Houston, and really in the middle of the wild card run. They've now added a lot of power to that lineup. Cal Raleigh's already out there leading the Major League, so they've got two prolific home run hitters. I mean, this guy Suarez, if he goes the rest of the way like he's gone to this point, he's going to be a over 50 home run guy, 125 RBI guy, somewhere in that range. So the biggest bat out there has gone. I thought another move, Duran coming over from the Twins, relief pitcher, coming over from the Twins to the Phillies. Big move. Remember, the Phillies, they had one of their best late bullpen guys, Jose Alvarado. He's been suspended. He got 80 games, 80 or not, I think 80 games earlier in the year. He is suspended. He comes off that suspended list in August, and he's a big part of the Phillies bullpen. But the punishment carries over into postseason play, and it should. It should. So he gets 80 games suspended, hasn't been on the team for a long time. He can come back, and he will come back in August to help the Phillies, hopefully, from their standpoint, win their division or make sure they get in the playoffs, be a wild card. But then he cannot pitch in postseason play. They will shut him down, and that's fair. You can't have a guy cheat, then have the team cover him for the suspension, and then he gets to play in the postseason. Teammates. I totally agree with that. But I thought that was a big move. There have been quite a few moves made. If there are any more big moves made, we'll keep you updated. We'll try to get to a list here before we get out of here. But the Major League Baseball trade deadline is today at 6 o'clock, just under 2 hours away. College football news and notes. Got some stuff I want to get to about some scheduling all around the country. I saw a pretty cool article today. Who do they think has the toughest non-conference schedule out there? The toughest Power 4 non-conference. All these little different parameters. Some of them really, really turned my eye, and I thought they were pretty neat. So we'll get to that as we go here in a moment. Take a look at some different notes here, making sure we haven't missed anything here in the starting lineup here on the program. And again, we're doing things a little bit backwards. Dr. Bates will join us today about 5 o'clock. I want to real quick kind of tell you about the last week of the Jacksonville Basketball Academy camps that I've been telling you about all summer long. They're wrapping up, obviously, with school. By next week, school will be about a week away, so people are starting to get back into that routine. They are wrapping up 9 weeks of camps, and I just want to tell you about it. Again, I want to thank Coach Martin and his entire staff for entrusting us on getting the word out. I've talked to Patrick, and he's talked to Coach, that they've had a wonderful camp again. The Jacksonville Basketball Academy, owned and operated by Coach Jim Martin, head basketball coach over at Providence. Now, the camps will end this summer, but if you still want to have your basketball player advancing his or her skills, go ahead and contact Jacksonville Basketball Academy. I'm sure they'll be happy to work out some individual workouts and drills and things like that, and let you know the next steps wherever your basketball player is at level-wise, and wherever your basketball player wants to get to level-wise. Certainly tap into the experience of the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Coach Martin and the staff will guide you and your basketball player and get you where you need to go. Here's how you can find out information on that. Just look them up, Google them, and everything is right there. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Again, Jacksonville Basketball Academy.com. I can vouch for them, and certainly Patrick Young can vouch for them. Looks like Pat says he will be on momentarily, and I look forward to Mr. Young. Let's see where the message said here real quick. There we go. He will get with us here momentarily and help us tackle some of these topics. Coming up with sports medicine at the top of the hour, obviously Dr. Bates has been gone for a couple of weeks. He was on vacation, and he's back now, ready to rock and roll. We've got a couple carryover. We'll ask about Caitlin Clark's situation. You know, she's got that quad injury that put her out for several games. And then I think she came back, but it was a short time, if memory serves. And she then developed a groin injury and has been out. And, you know, those two body parts are kind of close. It starting to remind me and some other people this whole conspiracy, if you've got a weakened calf, does that put your Achilles in peril? Well, if you've got a weakened quad, does that, are they, I don't know. We're going to ask Dr. Bates about that because she's missed a lot of time. Aaron Judge has the arm flexor situation. He's out now off the baseball for 10-day IL stint. We'll talk about really what is the flexor, how involved is it? Obviously, it's involved in both throwing and swinging the bat because they've shut him down. We'll talk to Dr. Bates about that. We've yet to get back to Dr. Bates about DJ Lagway's latest injury, but I don't mean to pick at DJ, but I think the latest injury that we were going to reference last week is now the second latest injury. You remember we were going to ask Dr. Bates about Lagway not throwing, and it's been reported that it was because he had a sports hurt, that he had not thrown, March, April, all the way through spring, and he just started. So we were going to kind of catch up on that most recent Lagway injury, but then there's been a new Lagway injury, the calf. Supposedly he's running around in a not real serious, but running around Gainesville in a boot because of a calf. I can't keep. We kid because we care, but I can't keep up with Lagway. I mean, we need to, we need of DJ Lagway. We need to get one of those big. Remember the old game Operation? You plug it in, and the old guy'd be laying on the operating table, and he'd have a hole for his funny bone to be here, and his hand would be there, and his heart. He'd be going in. You draw a card, and you got to give him heart surgery. You touch this. We need to get one of those cutouts of Lagway and just start thumbtacking all these injuries. I can't keep up with them all. I'm not picking at the guy, but my goodness. So anyway, Dr. Bates, we'll talk to him about that and a couple of other injuries that are starting to strike the sports world. They really never go away, unfortunately. We have to have this segment because sports and injuries are tied together. All right, that is our opening game plan. The ball's in the air. The opening kickoff is ready to be run back. We'll kick it back off after this quick timeout. It's a Thursday edition, a special Thursday edition. You know it by now. Presented by our good friends in Neptune Beach, Sliders Oyster Bar.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Okay, overhead shot of downtown Jacksonville. Looks like it's looked for about the last, all summer. Looks like that. Hot, and humid. Hopefully some rain billowing up, going to cool things off. Back here on a Thursday edition, it is a Sliders Oyster Bar Thursday. Of course, you know Sliders, the best seafood in Neptune Beach, bar none. You know it. It's been there forever. It is literally an institution. Gives you a little bit of everything. Tremendous seafood. They feature safe harbor seafood right down the road, right out of the ocean. Right to your plate, man. They can't get much fresher than that. Sliders Oyster Bar featuring safe harbor seafood. Fun weekend hangout, too. Always Saturday and Sunday music. People watching. Good place just to go have a cocktail. Going to or coming off of the beach. Or just hanging out and looking at cool people, the pretty people. They hang out down at Sliders Oyster Bar. I can guarantee you that. Jerry Norvelle here. Patrick Young any moment now. Dr. Bates around 5 o'clock with some sports news and notes. I told you hey, Casey, if you got a quick second back to the studio, I'll get you involved in this conversation real quick. I told you the trade deadline ends at 6 o'clock today, so a lot of movement today. There's been sporadic. Casey, I wouldn't say it's been a really busy trade deadline, really, if you call it that, last couple of weeks, but certainly we knew it was going to pick up today. When you hear these teams talk about a team they're renting a bat or they're renting an arm, is that more the guy that they're getting, his contract ends at the end of the year, they're just picking up the rest of the year and they know they can't afford him kind of thing? Or what exactly does all that mean? Do you know about that?
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with afford. It has to do with there's nothing left on the contract. So, like, they're a free agent.
Okay, so they would have to do a whole huge new, if they wanted to get him the rest of this year and then in the future, they'd have to get a brand new space contract.
Correct, yes. They would have to do a new contract, which is why you historically see less for those guys, where like a Mason Miller, who has 6 years of control, just commanded Leo DeVries, which is the third-rated prospect in the game from the Padres, to make that happen because of all the control they have on him.
Wow. It looked like, I guess this was expected. Did the Athletics, did they keep anybody? Like, they kept seeing their name pop up. They were shipping this guy and shipping that guy.
I mean, they kept their young players. I don't know that I would have traded Mason Miller, but they got one heck of a return for him. So I would say they had a good day.
Anything really shock you so far? And I guess we've still got hour and a half. I guess could we have one more blockbuster out there?
I mean, I'm assuming you haven't seen Carlos Correa.
No. What happened?
He's going back to the Astros. So I think that is
okay.
It was mentioned a little bit yesterday. I think it's surprising with all the money that he's owed on that contract that the Astros are willing to take that on. I can't imagine the return is going to be a whole heck of a lot. It just came out that he agreed to play third base, which is a big part of that. So he's going back to Houston, where he's had the best years of his career, and maybe it'll work out for him.
Is that Houston trying to answer the Mariners a little bit with their big bat they brought over?
Probably a little.
Is that the biggest move, the Mariners with Suarez?
No. I mean, it's the biggest offensive move. I think the Mason Miller move is massive, and then Joan Duran from the Twins to the Phillies, just because of what those teams gave up.
Yeah, and then, Duran is related to Alvarado being postseason shut down because of the suspension, right?
Yeah, and he's just flat out better than Alvarado.
Better. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it'll help when they get Alvarado back, but then obviously in the postseason they won't have him. So, but they don't want to close Alvarado. I think that's kind of been established. They'd rather use him in a 8th inning, 7th inning role whenever they need to, and now they can do that when he comes back because you have Duran in the 9th. So, it was a good day for them as well yesterday.
You have to, the way Major League Baseball suspended him, you have to do it like that, right? You can't let somebody get caught, but he plays on a good team, so then he gets to do the postseason.
Certainly. It would have been the same way with Jurickson Profar if the Braves had been good. He got suspended at the beginning of the year. He's back and playing now, but he also would have, anybody suspended for, performance-enhancing drugs is not allowed in the playoffs, and that's how they should do it.
I agree. Yeah, you would be, they would be winning in a weird way. The offender
100%.
would be winning. Okay, I'll see you guys in postseason, and we'll go win some games. Speaking of baseball games, looking around, and most of these guys, I guess, is it geography mainly in terms of would some of them be on a plane this morning and the guys got moved today? Would some of them be on a plane this morning and late tonight, or would that be a day or two down the road, you think, depending on geography and things like that?
Just because there's not many games today, you probably don't have the problem. I would guess that Suarez probably could play tonight going from Arizona to Seattle. It's pretty close in the grand scheme of, the United States. It's not close, but he could very well be there by 9:40 tonight. But I think they scheduled the games this way on this day because then you can get ready for tomorrow. Like, there's guys that'll make their debuts tomorrow. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, so tomorrow it'll be all going to go. And, not official, but Thursday's kind of a getaway day to get teams for their Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's not abnormal to have this, but this is a little bit extreme. Like, only having 3 games is even not that many for a getaway day. But I think it's a good idea to do this because you don't have to worry about if you're, MLB Network trying to cover games and this, you can put your full attention to the trade deadline. I think that's a good thing.
How quickly did Seattle, I don't know if they sent their own doctor or something, but didn't Suarez take a pitch off the hand last week?
He did, yeah. He did do that.
I immediately thought, oh, my God, the big power hitter on the block just took one off the hand. The last thing you want to do is trade for a guy with a fracture in his hand.
Yeah, that's a good point. But, they feel good about it, and, they should. He's been unbelievable this year and at the end of last year, so hopefully it works out for him.
All right, good stuff, Casey. Let's take a look real quick for people where we're at going into, I guess, we'll call it tomorrow when the new teams will have some fresh new looks. Some teams will have, 3 or 4 new players, and really what I'm talking about, some teams, contending teams. So the way it looks now, Toronto is 4 up on the Yankees, 5 up on the Red Sox. The Red Sox just will not go away. That's the American League East. The American League Central. not very close, even though Detroit has not played there. They're on a 4-game winning streak now. Detroit's had a bad run for the last 2 weeks before the Tigers have done the job the first 100 games or so. Detroit leading Cleveland, leading the Guardians by 9. First place between first and second, 9 games in the NL Central. Now the Guardians and the Royals in that division are very much they feel very much in play for a wild card spot. Right below those two Twins, they've obviously pushed in. They've said we're done, or pushed out, I should say. They said we're done. We're done. They started trading players at 51 and 57. Over in the, or down in the American League West, the Astros, slow start, got it together, battled through injuries. They still lead their division by 5. Seattle has crept within 3 here and there the last couple of weeks. They just can't close it any more than that. Right now, as a matter of fact, Seattle and the Texas Rangers are both 5 games back. They're both tied the exact same 57 and 52 record. So Astros leading, and Seattle and the Rangers very much feel like they are in line for one of the 3 wild card spots if they can't get red hot here in the last 45 games or so. So 4-game lead, 9-game lead, 5-game lead in the American League. We zip it down to the National League. Mets, 62 and 47. They have been like a close horse race, nose to nose, back and forth all season long, and I think everybody expects it to go this way. The Mets have a half a game lead on the Phillies. They're tied in the loss column, but the Mets have won one more game. They played one more game. So the Mets and Phillies separated by only a half game right now. Nobody else is a factor in the division or really in the wild card race. Wild card race actually not. No factor. No factor in the rest of the National League there. National League Central, a race has just really came out of the last 3 or 4 weeks. Actually, the month of July. Let's go ahead and say July. Boy, have the Brewers gotten hot. The Milwaukee Brewers currently lead the NL Central by a game. They are 1 full game up on the Cubs. The Cubs have controlled that division really about the first 80 games. And here come the Mariners, 64 and 44. They've got a 1-game lead over the Cubs. And don't forget, I keep forgetting. I want to say I wrote the Reds off, but that wouldn't be true. I never wrote them on to write them off. Man, they just will not go away. The Cincinnati Reds, 57 and 52, really not a factor in the division race. They're 7.5 out, but man, they just will not go away. They're a lot like the Red Sox. The Reds will not go away in the National League wild card race. Nobody else, Cardinals, Pirates, are factors at all. The rest of that division, and then the West, the NL West. People calling it the best division in baseball. Dodgers have pretty much been in first place wires now. Dodgers lead the NL West by 3 games. They are 63 and 46. They lead the Padres by 3 games, and they lead now San Francisco 9 games out. Boy, I kept seeing them. They crept up. They got within 2 or 3 not that long ago. It seems like they're not playing great ball. 2 and 8 their last 10 are the Giants, and they've lost 6 in a row. So the Giants, they really need to grab a hold. They're 54 and 55, still in wild card striking distance, but they are going the wrong way. And real quick, let's take a look there. So we're going over the standings now that teams have right at an hour and a half to finalize the rest of their roster. Other than, in case I'll tap into you one more time, other than calling up somebody from your farm, this is the last time you can do anything to your roster, right?
Yeah, you can always call somebody up, but if you want somebody that doesn't play on your team, they either have to get waived, which won't happen, so you got to go make it happen in the next 90 minutes. Yeah,
90 minutes trade deadline, or you, and if you're a contender and you've got a star player on the farm, you probably would already have them up.
True. Yeah, for sure.
Trying to work them in. Okay, National League wild card Yankees. Disappointing that they've let the first place in the league get away, but they're fine with the wild card. They're 2.5 up in the first wild card position. Red Sox 1.5 games up Seattle would be the third, or they're tied with the Rangers. So that's going to work itself out. And the Guardians, 2.5. Two other teams, Royals and Rays, 3. Rays are a team to keep an eye on. Boy, they just, at last check, they were losing to the Yankees. They will get back and check that score. They have made a charge about 3 weeks ago, and now they're playing bad. But probably from there up, Rays, Royals, working my way up. There are 3 wild card spots in each division, each league. Rays, Royals, Guardians, Rangers, Mariners, Red Sox, Yankees. 3 are coming out of that. 3 are coming out of that. LA Angels, 4 back. I just don't take them serious. Minnesota, 5.5, and they sold everybody. So nobody else is a factor. And we take a look. We take a look at the National League wild card. Cubs, disappointed that they've been knocked out of first place. Now that's very fluid. Only a game out of first place. They've been there most of the year. Cubs, 3.5 up on a wild card spot. They've got the first spot right now by 3.5 games. Phillies, 1.5, but the Phillies are thinking division now. Obviously, so are the Cubs. But the Phillies, 1.5 safe in the wild card. San Diego right now would be the third team, and the fourth team in striking distance. The Reds, 57 and 52. The Reds still hanging around. Cardinals, 5.5. I think from there on down, it's that's about the end of it. So there you have it. Quick look at baseball. Trade deadline, 6 o'clock today. Some big moves, couple big bats have moved. Some arms. They're probably. I've got a baseball show on right now, trying to keep an eye on it, and trying to see if we can make sure nothing big comes by again. And we'll keep you posted on that. All right, wanted to get to another article I thought was really interesting today. I think I caught it in ESPN. It was, let's see if I've got it right. I grab all this stuff here. Chris Lowe, longtime college writer. He did a long kind of breakdown, and I like the fact that he looked at some different parameters. Schedule breakdown, toughest and easiest schedule. That can be kind of redundant and monotonous. We know. We get it. We know Florida has the toughest schedule in the country. We get it. But this went a lot deeper. He broke it down, and I thought there were some interesting areas. Of course, he let it off. Toughest overall Power 4 schedule, Florida. We don't need to get back into that. We know that. But he did right. Easiest overall Power 4, Wake Forest. We won't get into that. Kent State, toughest overall Power 4. So they pick up the toughest big boys. No, I'm sorry. They're the non-Power 4. We look around. I thought this was and I would have, without having the schedule in front of me, I wouldn't have got this. Toughest college football Power 4 non-conference schedule. Okay, so you got to be a Power 4, one of the Big 4, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC. And your toughest 4, who's got the toughest 4 non-conference games? Chris Lowe says Clemson. He says it was a coin flip between Clemson and Stanford until BYU quarterback Jake Ratliff was suspended. That knocked BYU down. Clemson gets the nod. The Tigers, how about this? Pretty nice non-conference Power 4 schedule. Clemson opens up in the SEC with number 6 LSU. Then they close the season with probably still ranked South Carolina. That's pretty nasty right there. That's pretty nasty. Another school that he talks about, Chris Lowe, toughest Power 4 non-conference games on your schedule. He's got the Miami Hurricanes. Says they've got 3 tough early season matchups out of conference as well, albeit all 3 at home. They've got Notre Dame, South Florida, and Florida. And keep in mind, Notre Dame, you're talking Miami plays Notre Dame and Florida August 31, Notre Dame, September 20th, so less than a month apart. I mean, they are bam. South Florida will be a decent little test. Never can write them off, new coach. But, yeah, Miami's got a half. Now, the flip side to Miami is, the ACC's not a juggernaut. I thought that was interesting. Easiest, and this will play into, this is easiest Power 4 school non-conference schedule. And this will play into one of the arguments that Greg Sankey has. If this doesn't get factored in, strength of schedule, Greg Sankey is the burr under his saddle for not taking the SEC to 9 conference games is if we toughen up again by playing our own, by eating our own, you've got to assure me that strength of schedule, good and bad. Don't forget, strength of schedule can be weak strength of schedule, too. I think this is one of the angles that Sankey goes with. Penn State, they're set, according to Chris Lowe, to have the 4 worst non-conference Power 4 opponents going out playing teams outside. They open the season with 3, let's take a look here. Penn State by a mile, or takes Happy Valley, blah, blah, blah. James Franklin's best and most talented team, but one that will be untested when it rolls into Big Ten play against Oregon. The warm-ups come in the first 3 weeks. Here's Penn State, all at home. Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. So I think when Greg Sankey hints and talks about making sure strength of schedule is factored in before he makes his conference play another tough conference game, and most of them will be. Anybody playing the SEC, 1 or 2 teams. Mississippi State's not very good this year, and there may be 1 or 2 other ones. Arkansas may not be, but most times playing an SEC team, you can get beat. Sankey wants to make sure if his conference has to play 1 more of its own, which generally will be a tough game, or some of the other conferences, teams like Penn State, can keep playing weak teams like that and not getting punished. See, I think Sankey wants to make sure strength of schedule means you get rewarded for playing tough and you get demerits for playing weak. And until he gets that assurance, because, and I can see where he's coming from. I've been around this college football game a long, long, long time. It has been so easy. I've heard it and seen it thrown around for decades. Oh, yeah, strength of schedule. We factor that in. Well, no, you don't. You say you do. Every committee I've ever seen talk and give out lists and parameters. This and that, 1 loss and head-to-head, strength of schedule, buddy. It's not. It sounds good. But until you start using it, why would you try and strengthen up if it doesn't benefit you? Why? I understand his point there. All right, Chris Lowe, his article goes on a little bit deeper. He's got about 12 or so games, must-see non-conference games. I won't go over all of them, but 3 or 4 of them. Really intriguing. Auburn at Baylor. That is August 29th. That's on a Friday night. It's your opener. Your opener on the road. Your opener on the road. And this is from Auburn's perspective. Your opener on the road. Your opener on the road on a non-traditional day that you play college football. What is that? Extended, extended holiday weekend. Auburn at Baylor. Great opening. 2 teams that really need to get off to a good start. 2 head coaches that really need to get off to a good head start. Good non-conference game, and it's early. August 29th. Auburn at Baylor. Less than a month away. I like the game the next day. August 30th. Utah at UCLA. Second year for UCLA's head coach. And Kyle Whittingham, maybe his last year. I think he's got 1 more pretty good football team in him. August 30th is a great day, which is, I consider that the opening of college football. They call it week 1. They got week 0, whatever the hell that. Texas at Ohio State. Enough said. I mean, that could be the best regular season game and the national championship. I mean, there's odds that those guys would beat the playoffs. They could easily play twice, even though they're in 2 different conferences. Texas at Ohio State. Right now, on paper, that's the game of the year, isn't it? And will we have any 2 teams ranked higher that are scheduled to play? Now, the season may play out 4 weeks in, 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 3. But, I mean, that's going to be 1 and 2 in the poll. Texas, Ohio State could be the first of 2. They could book in. They could easily book in the season, open and close with each other. Also on August 30th. Boy, what a good day. August 30th. Less than a month away. UCLA, Utah, Texas, Ohio State. Also August 30th. Notre Dame at Miami. Notre Dame at Miami. Notre Dame breaking in a new quarterback in the Orange Bowl, whatever they call it down there now, playing in Miami. Miami breaking in a new yet experienced quarterback in Carson Beck. By the way, Notre Dame's quarterback C.J. Carr, the grandson of former Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr. He doesn't go to Michigan, he goes to North Carolina State. So that's another one on August 30th. And then Chris Lowe on this August 30th, he's got a couple more. He calls this must-see non-conference games. Alabama at Florida State is on August 30th as well, and LSU Clemson coin flip. Those two could also easily, not a stretch to think, they could play a couple times, even though they're in opposite conference, not the same conference. You could see LSU and Clemson meeting up in the playoff. You could easily see that. No, we got a long way to go. That's what makes that game so fun is it doesn't necessarily eliminate the loser. Also, final game on the 30th, according to Chris Lowe, most must-see non-conference football game, college football. Alabama at Florida State. I think that is. I think that's a must-see game. How can I phrase this? I think that is a must-see game. Alabama at Florida State. Not so much for the competitiveness of the game, but for the vision of each program, where they're at. What is FSU going to look like? Are they going to, and I think we'll tell, even though Alabama's good, you'll be able to tell. This is year 6. Mike Norvelle has been in place down there 6 years now. What will FSU look like? And maybe just, almost kind of, I don't think it's going to be a real competitive game, particularly in the second half, but it's going to be a telling game. I guess that's a good way to spell it out. It's going to be a real telling game, how each individual team looks, not necessarily playing each other. I think the talent discrepancy will win out pretty big, but terribly interesting game. Alabama, Florida State. Last thing the Noles needs, nobody needs this, but the last thing Florida State is go out and get their ass kicked. I mean, go out, turn the lights on, nighttime, invite everybody in the country to tune in to look at the new stadium that they're unveiling and look at the new digs, and they're going to say it's a new start. And the last thing they need to go out and get beat, 38-14 on top of 2-10. A couple more games that Chris Lowe has pointed out, must-see non-conference games. He's got Michigan at Oklahoma. That just sounds cool if you love college football. Texas A&M at Notre Dame. A&M needs a big win. You know what? Texas A&M needs a big win. They got Alabama a couple years ago. A&M doesn't have enough big wins consistently to sometimes justify their placement in bowl games. A&M at Notre Dame, that's early September 13th. Florida at Miami. Again, Miami, Florida, and Notre Dame very early in the schedule. The Gators will be coming off of, they will have played LSU already at that point. USC at Notre Dame. That rivalry needs some juice. And Clemson at South Carolina. Those are some of the ones that Chris Lowe, the great veteran writer, college football writer for ESPN, says about non-conference. Better be careful games. He's got some sneaky good matchups featuring Power 4 teams against a group of 5. I won't go over all of them, a couple that jump out. UCLA at UNLV. I agree with him. That's Dan Mullen now coaching UNLV. UNLV was good last year. They were so good. Barry Odom, the coach at UNLV, parlayed his they almost went to the playoffs. It was them or Boise State, and Boise beat them. UNLV, Barry Odom, parlayed that into getting back into a power conference. He went back to the Big Ten, went to Purdue. Keep an eye on that game. That could be a smaller conference upsetting. Army at Kansas State. I could see Army getting going with that offense. A couple more he's got down. Arkansas at Memphis, September 20th. That would be a bad loss for Sam Pittman in Arkansas. He's already on the hot seat. There's a lot of talk and a lot of grumbling in Fayetteville. Arkansas at Memphis. Memphis will probably be favored in that game. It wouldn't surprise me. Tulane at Ole Miss. John Summerall has done nice things at Tulane. That's one to keep an eye on. And I don't know. We'll all tune in. But October 4th, Boise State at Notre Dame. Boise won't fear Notre Dame. I'll guarantee you that. But Boise at Notre Dame. Here's a tough topic that Chris Lowe threw out for the one team that he points out. Toughest Power 4 home schedule. And this is tough because this program I'm going to throw out, they're a Power 4 program. They could be the worst Power 4 program right now. Well, one of the 5 worst in Power 4 conferences. And they get this kind of home schedule, Power 4 home schedule. Jeff Levy at Mississippi State, his second season with the Bulldogs, against 4 teams from a year ago at he gets 4 playoff teams from last year's playoff. Does Jeff Levy in a massive rebuild at Mississippi State. They have at Wallace Wade Stadium, so they get Arizona State on September 6th. Of course, they went to the playoffs with Scotty. They've got Tennessee on the 27th. Maybe not as tough as the last few years of Tennessee, but still, they were playoff. Mississippi State has Texas and Georgia. So Texas, Georgia, Arizona State, and Tennessee, one of the worst teams in the Power 4 conferences, Mississippi State. Those are 4 of their home games. And, I mean, getting blitzed is getting blitzed. But, I mean, Mississippi State may get blown out at home in front of your home fans in every one of those games. they could get blown out. Conversely, Chris Lowe says easiest Power 4 home schedule. The other end of the spectrum, one of the better teams in the country, Texas. They have only one preseason top 25 will visit Texas Stadium this season. Just a terrible schedule at home with Power 4 teams in terms of coming in. Let's take a look. They've got Kentucky, Mississippi State, Texas. See if there's anything else we want to get here on this. Easiest, toughest to close the season, easiest close the season. Toughest 3-game stretch, Chris Lowe from ESPN. He says the Oklahoma Sooners have the toughest 3-game stretch. It starts with number 3, Texas in Dallas, where that's neutral. True road game at South Carolina. They're number 13 right now on the 28th of October. And then a home game against number 24, Ole Miss. So Oklahoma gets the nod. Here's a scheduling quirk. We did talk about Miami. They've got a difficult stretch there with Florida and Notre Dame. But how about Miami's schedule? How weird is this? Miami doesn't play a game outside the state of Florida until they travel to face SMU in Dallas on November 1st. Think about that. Miami will open up their season on Sunday, August 31st. And they will not leave the state of Florida until Saturday, November 1st. 6 of the Hurricanes' first 7 games are at home at Hard Rock Stadium, and a 7th is in Tallahassee against Florida State in October, early October. Included are 3 straight all-Florida affairs against South Florida, Florida, and Florida State. How weird is that? So they go August 31st to September 31st to October 31st, and then November 1st. They go out of the that is weird. Clemson needs to do something about this stat. Clemson's Dabo Swinney gets another shot at the SEC to open the season in the Battle of Death Valleys on August 30th, of course, against LSU. Clemson is 18-12 versus the SEC since the start of the 2012 season, but the Tigers have lost 7 of their past 10 games to SEC opponents, and that all started with the 42-25 loss to LSU in the national championship game. Toughest travel game, according to Chris Lowe, is a mountain-to-mountain jaunt. Just east of Mary's Peak, Oregon State will travel across the country to the Blue Ridge Mountains to take on Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina. Holy cow. Oregon to Boone, North Carolina, mountain to mountain. Another college football oddity. We're looking at the college football national schedule, just different things that stood out from this Chris Lowe article. Houston, the Cougars, they played 3, not 2, not 1, 3 Friday night games. September 12th versus Colorado, September 26th versus Oregon State, and November 7th versus UCF. They also opened the season on a Thursday night game with Stephen F. Austin. 4 non-Saturday games. Florida State did something like that a year or two ago. The Knowles had might have been 2 Friday and a Thursday or something. Something crazy like that. All right, let me see if there's any other. Here's an oddity in schedule in the last decade or so involving the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee, for the 11th straight year, will not play a non-conference regular season game on an opposing team's campus. Let me say that again. Tennessee Volunteers, for the 11th straight year, will not play a non-conference regular season game on an opposing team's campus, like Florida going to Florida State. Something like that. The last time the Vols played a non-conference road game, not counting the playoff game last season at Ohio State, okay, so throw that one out, on the opposing school's campus was September 13th, 2014, when they lost to number 4 at the time, Oklahoma in Norman. The Vols did win at Pittsburgh in 2022, a 34-27 win, but the Panthers played their home games at the Steelers Stadium, not their own stadium on campus. That throws that one out. That's odd. That is real odd. All right, I just want to go through that. I knew we wouldn't have a whole lot of time. One other thing about this volunteer schedule, it's weird. They have flopped pretty much Florida and Georgia. Tennessee used to always play Florida in September and Georgia later. This year, the Gators don't play, the Volunteers don't play the Gators until November 22nd. God, the week before Thanksgiving. That's odd. They always used to play about that third Saturday in September. All right, let's get this thing out of here. Wrapping up hour number 1. We'll take a break. Reset the show, kick off. We hope to talk to Dr. Aaron Bates, our buddy from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, for our sports medicine discussion. Got several injuries we want Dr. Bates to lend his expertise on. That and a whole lot more. We kick off hour number 2. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports Channel.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with we are martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Reset kickoff hour number 2. I want to thank our friends at Sliders Oyster Bar. Our Thursday show always presented by Sliders. I'm normally at Sliders, but kind of taking the week off, doing the show from the house as you not on the patio. But I guarantee you, the happy hour crowd is rolling in, has rolled in Sliders. They've got some cool drinks. They've got some tasty seafood, and they're having a good time at Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach, our Thursday sponsor. We appreciate Deanna and, of course, Chris and the whole staff that has treated us, our show, very, very well over the years. Radio, streaming, whatever it is, they always step up. I'm sure I'm speaking for Patrick Young as well. Hope to hear from Pat in a little bit. He is checked in with me from a doctor's appointment, scheduled with him as well. So no problems there. We hope to hear from him. Speaking of doctors, Dr. Bates, we hope to hear from in a moment. I know it's Thursday. We normally do it on Wednesday, but we took the show off yesterday. I was doing a little convalescing from my little bit of surgery last Friday. It was all scheduled. And I guess, Casey, if Dr. Bates comes on, I've danced around the surgical procedure I have. I guess maybe, since he's a doctor, doctors are mature and smart. They don't make fun, right? They're doctors. I guess I will announce what type of surgery I have. I've been very,
all right.
Been very kind of, if you notice that I've had a procedure, I've had surgery, blah, 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 blah. I guess if because doctors are serious. You shouldn't make fun of anybody after surgery, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, pretty much not. So, but I guess if he comes on, I'll let him know while he was cavorting in parts unknown in Europe or wherever he and his lovely bride take their vacations. I was, I guess under the knife. I don't know. Under the knife, that's the old way, right? Now they do all kind of little major magical instruments and all go in there, don't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess I went to a discount because my anesthesia was guy told me to bite on this bullet and drink this whiskey as needed, right out of the bottle.
That doesn't sound great.
Remember the old school? Remember the westerns? You'd watch a western.
Oh yeah.
Johnny got shot in the barn. The bad guys were hiding out in the barn, right?
Sure.
And they, and in case you remember, they gotta make a run for it. They're getting shot like crazy. They started with 8 bad guys in the barn. They're down to about 4. They gotta make a run for it, but the leader got shot in the leg or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
So get out of here. We gotta get this bullet out of him real quick. All right. They tell him to bite the bullet, and I think that's where the phrase came from. bite that bullet and hand him a bottle of whiskey, right?
Makes sense.
First, they pour the whiskey on the wound, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I don't know about the biting the bullet, though. No one might did go off. Anyway, but I went the discount rate, so that was my anesthesia.
Okay.
All right, so Doc Bates takes it on. Maybe I'll let the cat out of the bag there. So, where else was I going to go today on the show? Oh! If Doc comes on, we'll have to get back to this. Heavy rumors now. This has flared up before, but heavy rumors. North Carolina, maybe back channels looking at what are the possibilities of making a jump to the SEC in the near future. And we know there's still some stuff going on with grant of rights and all, but FSU and Clemson have cleared that up. What they went through and what got settled through the court, that finally got arbitrated, and they sent them and they knocked that number down. That number, remember the ACC was, it's going to cost anybody that wants to get out. We've got it on running 550 million. Thing got Doc on. Let's hold that. I want to talk about North Carolina going to the SEC. I think it makes the most sense out there. Unless you're named Notre Dame, that's the only bigger fish out there. I think North Carolina is the biggest gettable fish out there, not named Notre Dame. And I don't think Notre Dame is gettable because I don't think they're ever going to join a conference. With that, I think did I hear Dr. Bates as well? Hey, there he is. Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Man, we can hear you. You look great. We've missed you for a couple of weeks. You've had your vacation. Can you tell us a little bit about your vacation, you and the bride?
Yeah, we went on a big cruise on Region 7 Seas in the Mediterranean. Left out of Venice, went to all of these countries and cities around the Mediterranean, including Croatia and Montenegro and the Greek islands and Sicily and Amalfi Coast and Rome. Yeah, Monaco. Ended up in Barcelona for a few nights, so it was awesome.
On a trip like that, Doctor, were most of those ports first time for you guys?
Yeah, the only one we had been to before was Monaco.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
did you get to at least stay? I mean, it wasn't rushed. Did you get to stay in each place a day or two, or how'd that work?
No, it was pretty much a day. Day trips. Each
so
time.
We thought
it was a good thing to kind of see some places that maybe we want to visit later on and spend some time. So the only time we spent at places that were a little bit longer were Venice and Barcelona. We spent a few days each there.
With that said, when you wanted to depart the ship, did you do it as a group so you could get back and not, because you're on a time crunch kind of thing? Or
well, there were certain places where we did excursions with groups, and there were certain places where we had like private drivers where just her and I went and did our own thing. So you could do either or you could just go peruse around by yourself if you wanted.
But would you always be worried that the boat's going to be taken off and I better be on that boat?
Well, that's always in the back of your mind. You don't want to be left.
Did you and your wife, not that it matters because you're on vacation and good for you guys, did you guys do a wait before and a wait when you got back? And did you add weight or all you do was eat?
I didn't weigh myself because I knew it was going to be bad. That's all you do is eat and drink the whole time. It's a good time though.
Wow.
Paying for it now.
Yeah. Last thing this may be like saying, hey, which one's your favorite kid? I get it. Sometimes you can't answer. Was there a special standout of those cities, locations you rattled off? Did one of them go, wow, the view, the food, the everything?
Yeah, all of them were great, but I think the Amalfi Coast was awesome. And, Montenegro was really, really nice as well. So those kind of stand out as the ones that I would really want to go back and visit again.
Did you guys use an agent or did y'all kind of put it together? Wife kind of put it together? How'd this work?
She did most of it, but there was somebody through the cruise line that kind of helped her set it up as well. But she did most of it.
Was everybody cordial to the Americans?
Yeah, they were. I mean, there was a lot of talk about tariffs and this and that, of course. But
you should have went around collecting tariffs from people.
They were trying to collect from me.
Yes, that's what they're trying to balance it out, weren't they?
Right. Yes.
They sure. Hey, Doc, we've got some injuries to talk about. We appreciate you coming on. I know you're probably dead tired from getting back, but I've been teasing a little bit. I'm no longer a surgical virgin.
Okay.
And my first surgery was this past Friday, and it was scheduled, so it's nothing bad. But so I'm doing. You can see I'm doing the show from the house.
Yeah.
It was Friday, and I'm kind of scared to get too far away from the house, as you can imagine, as a patient. And it went pretty good. And I've been just telling people it's a surgical procedure, but I'm gonna go ahead and fess up, okay? Because I know I'm with a doc, and you'll be serious and honest. And Friday was the procedure at noon, so just very, very, very uncomfortable for a couple, 2 or 3 days. Yesterday I had a terrible day. My stomach. It was almost like my stomach is so tired. They got me taking so many pills, ibuprofen and acetaminophen. It's almost like I got so many pills and my stomach's all sideways, right? I'm off schedule, but I feel a lot better. Doc, I'm gonna tell you now, I had hemorrhoid surgery.
Boy.
And oh boy.
Yeah.
Doc, I've never had surgery. And
you start out with hemorrhoid surgery. That's a big one.
Yeah, and is that my buddy Patrick? Hey, Pat. So anyway, I'm fessing up because I've been telling people I've had a procedure, and I know they're tired of me dancing around it. So I figured with Doc. So Doc, painful and uncomfortable. My biggest problem was twofold, Doc, and I don't know if you have patients like this. A, I've never had surgery, so I have no back reference. And B, it was outpatient, and that lulled me into a false, it can't be that bad. They're sending me home, right? And it's been tough, Doc. It's been tough. I'm much better, and the worst is behind me. It's almost a week now.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, but surgery is surgery, whether you get it outpatient at an ambulatory surgery center or you're in the hospital. It's still surgery, and so there's recovery time, and and there's ups and downs and waxes and wanes and tenderness and discomfort and all of that, and but typically the first week is the worst, and so it seems like you're coming out of it now, and hopefully you'll continue to get better from here.
And I promise we'll get off this because it's not the most glamorous part of the body and all, but I knew this was going to be a problem, but that type of surgery, a living, functioning human being still has to have bowel movements.
Yeah.
And oh boy. Oh boy. I'll leave it at that.
So I mean, do we need to call you Coach Prime now, or what?
I don't know. Neither. You see me doing this a lot. Yeah. So anyway, I figured, Doctor, you handled it like a pro. No funny jokes or anything like that. Now, all my friends are going to get on me, but
Terry, I can't believe you. You could have said like a gastro thing because we were playing trivia yesterday. I wanted to play trivia with our buddy Mike Free, friend of the show, comedian, and we were bouncing around names, and I was like, the Polyps, or our team name should be Terry's Polyp, or we were bouncing around for a moment, and now, I mean, you're screwed, my guy. You're screwed.
Well, let me tell you why I did this, because both of you guys know me well enough. Y'all know by now, I'm a helper. I want to help people. So if I can help somebody in the future, I'm here to give guidance. Doc, I'm a helper. You know that, right?
You're a giver. You're a giver.
There you go.
There you go. You're a giver. Now, are you sitting on a donut or what?
Well,
like a donut pillow?
I had one. It finally popped. Don't make any fat jokes. It finally popped. They gave me one. But I've got 2 towels rolled up in a V kind of right now. But today I feel immensely better from a sore standpoint. And everything, immensely better. Yeah, so I think the down part. Now we tried everything. The doc that I went to, really nice fella, and we tried 3 or 4 treatments because he said, "Listen, my man, he wasn't surgery happy." He said, "That's the last thing we want to do."
Yeah,
and he was right. But we tried. I won't say what. We tried three beforehand. Try to get lessen it without.
It's a very difficult procedure to get over, and Yeah, and that's why you leave it as the last possible option.
And he did. In fairness to him, 6 weeks ago, he heard what my primary had suggested at first.
Mm-hmm.
The couple we did, he tried something in his office. I went and he said, you're going to have a miserable time if you don't get this taken care of. It's going to be miserable in the short term, but
yeah,
going to make it better. So
yeah,
there we go. All right,
Doc.
Doc.
On the road to recovery, buddy.
There you go. Thank you. All right, let's talk some sports injuries. More important than me because I'm not very much of an athlete anymore. Doc, since we visited, Caitlin Clark has really struggled with a couple of injuries, the WNBA star. She started with a quad, and I made sure it's the same leg, same side. She started with a quad, missed a bunch of time. Pat, you remember that was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she came back, and no quicker did she came back, the same side, her groin has her out or put her out. And, they're so close in proximity, Doc, and I know that doesn't mean a lot, but people are already talking about calf Achilles. Are they related? Quad groin, that close to each other. Could they, are they, or is that just coincidence?
Well, they're pretty close in proximity, but they do two totally different things. But if one is affected, you may put strain on the other one, undue strain on the other.
There you go.
And so it's not, surprising that she has had multiple, injuries that way, particularly if you try to rush it back. And she may have tried to do that. And now she's got the opposite side groin.
Okay.
So it was the left side was the quad groin, and now it's the right side
okay.
that kept her out more recently here. At least that's what I read about.
Okay.
And so they're all they work in concert. They do different things, but they work in concert. She's trying to cut and pivot and lateral movement and stuff like that and drive to the basket.
Yeah.
So, those things she needs to all work in concert and to be healthy. And if one is down, you're going to put more stress on the other.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wondered about that. Pat, I don't know if you had heard some of that. I've heard some people now talking. Are those two injuries related?
I mean, we know this. There's going to always be some type of compensation if there's a noticeable weakness or discomfort. Like, first your body's going to tell you that, and mentally you're going to be like, all right, I need to push more off of this leg or that one. And it's just a matter of time, especially playing high level sports, that some tendonitis may start, some inflammation might creep in, and who knows? Yeah, you're going to have some irritation on that overworked muscle.
Major League Baseball news, really the biggest injury news is Aaron Judge out now for 10 days on the IL. Arm flexor, so they're shutting him down. I don't know what the flexor is and what the flexor does. And they're also putting him on the IL, no swing in the bat. I thought maybe it was DH, but I guess it's not good to do anything with a flexor. What the hell is a flexor?
Well, it's the elbow flexor tendon. It's all of the flexor tendon muscle units that flex the wrist and fingers that attach on the inside part of your elbow. On that same bone, that deeper, you have the Tommy John ligament that attaches there. So this is a ligament. These are tendons that, kind of help you flex. Like you're going to throw and kind of snap your wrist when you throw. All of those muscles and tendons, there's a common attachment site on the inside part of the elbow, that little bony prominence right there. That's where they all coalesce and attach. And so he had some inflammation there. It's probably just kind of an overuse type of thing. But the one thing that they wanted to make sure of is that he didn't have a UCL or Tommy John ligament issue, and he didn't. So this is typically an overuse type of thing, kind of a freak accident, but he's going to have more stress on that with throwing than batting. But to calm it down completely, they're just shutting him down without doing anything for about 10 days, I think. And then the plan is when he comes back, then he'll just DH for a little bit and not throw. And I think they're going to put Stanton out in the outfield for him during that time, so he can still be in the lineup. And then he'll do that for a bit until he's good enough to go with throwing and not having any pain with that to get back out in the outfield.
Compare and contrast. Ohtani had the Tommy John, no throw, but he batted from day one. totally different injuries, but they let him swing the bat from day one, Ohtani.
Well, he was swinging from the other side of the plate. That's why, and so it was more. He wasn't putting stress on the Tommy John
throwing.
ligament.
Okay, that's why you're a doc. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. He's a left-handed batter, batter, right-handed thrower.
Yeah,
that's more. Interesting.
Yeah, so he's pulling through, and he's not. If it was his left elbow and he's a left-handed batter, that put more stress on that Tommy John ligament.
Yeah, and Pat, you probably saw this. Stanton got called up. He got called back up, and he's hit 8 home runs right out of the gate.
Oh, wow, look at that.
But the problem with Stanton is he clumps around in the
healthy.
field. And he clumps around in the field. He's nowhere near the outfielder.
Yeah.
Or the first baseman. So he clumps around on the field. But, so that makes sense. The Yankees, let's get it 100% cleaned up by getting 30 games from the end of the regular season playoffs than having them both flaring up the rest of the year. Clear this up. Interesting. Doc, that's why you're doctor. That makes a lot of sense right there. Makes a lot of sense. We don't have time to get into all the new injuries that DJ Lagway has suffered.
I got a good one.
Go ahead.
I got a good one.
Go ahead.
Will Levis. So, Doc, obviously you don't have the information you need and you're not over his care. But at the end of the season, they made a decision to allow him to rehab his AC joint. And just last week, I think it was just last week, announced that he needed surgery. And in my mind, I'm like, why would they wait? Obviously, he wasn't doing any contact things. Yeah. And I follow Will Levis on Instagram.
Right.
He showed a picture of his shoulder.
Oh, I saw
that. There was like a 2-inch separation from that in that AC joint that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
If to the best of your ability, why would they not have done this surgery sooner? Because I'm thinking he wasn't doing contact, obviously. So why do you think they waited until now to do that surgery?
Well, it sounds like it was a grade 3 AC separation, because if it was a grade 5 AC separation, this surgery, it's always going to be surgery, right? So grade 3s are kind of the no man's land where sometimes we operate on and sometimes we don't, even though there's that big discrepancy in space between the clavicle and the chromium process of the scapula. And so, was this his throwing shoulder?
Yeah. Yes, his right shoulder. Yep.
And so I don't know if the conversation went that, okay, if we do surgery, you're going to be out for a good 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months from throwing. And maybe he said, well, let's see if I can get through this without ever having to have surgery on this, because some people can do that. I don't know how many, if they're overhead throwers, but maybe that was the conversation at that time. And unfortunately, if that fails, well, now you're up against the clock.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
You're up against the beginning of the season. And so now you got to get the surgery, and now he's got to be out for most of the season.
Yeah, my thought process for trying to be a general manager as a fan, I'm like, it's a very high chance Cam Ward's going to struggle a lot. Who knows when that could be? Will Levis, get yourself and I don't know, healthy enough by week 10, potentially you could play and pick up some slack, and maybe you play well enough, another team picks you up or something. But now, I mean, the tape on Will Levis, that's why I'm thinking the tape is not great.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not great. And my man, now he's going to miss an entire season. So really going to be interesting to see how things unfold for that young man.
Coach, Doc, I've got one more for you. New Gator basketball
coach
player.
too, man. He's a coach too. He coached his girls up. I know he was coaching his girls up when they're playing volleyball. I know it.
We're gonna talk to him about football in a second. His Towson State team. I saw something about them.
Will Levis came out guns blazing when he first started, and then he just kind of got cold.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. Doc, new Gator basketball player Boogie Flan and DJ Lagway have recently suffered sports hernia. What is it? You hear that term, you hear hernia by itself, and then you hear sports hernia. What's the
Good question.
differentiating? What is a sports hernia? Everybody's got a sports hernia now.
Yeah, I mean, a sports hernia is. I don't even know if it's a great name for the injury, and it's an injury that's really not well understood.
Okay.
And there's not many docs, surgeons that take care of that around the country.
Oh, really?
And what it is where where the pubis bone is, kind of in the center of your pelvis, where the rectus abdominis muscle attaches there from the top down, and then on the other side you have your groin muscles kind of attached on the other side, and there's kind of like an envelope of tissue there that can get irritated and can tear. But it's not a hernia like we know, like an umbilical hernia or an inguinal hernia, where you have intra-abdominal contents protruding through a rent in the tissue. That's not it.
Yeah, that's what I think of as a hernia when it protrudes.
Yeah, it's not. It has nothing to do with protruding. It's just these tissues have been kind of irritated and torn off in some way. And there's like orthopedic surgeons, from what I know, don't really ever take care of that. It's more of a general surgeon type of thing, because they're the ones used to be working down in that area.
Yeah.
With the soft tissues around the inguinal canal and all of that. And then the intra abdominal contents and in that area. So they kind of take care of that, and only a few around the country, from what I know, take care of that surgically.
And I'm assuming that injury came into offices so much, and it always was a very active person.
Yes.
Versus a non-active person. So they think, okay, the twisting, the torquing, and everything.
Right. It's a big thing. Like if you have, you do a lot of things with your trunk.
Yeah.
That's what's affected most. So people have a hard time doing sit-ups and, maybe doing some like twisting type lunges or something like that. And then cutting and pivoting and all those things, lateral movement, that's all affected because you have to have a good, strong trunk to do that.
Yeah. So a really sedentary person wouldn't be doing those movements, which probably means that person isn't the most athletic person. So the ones that get it, that's probably where that name came from.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Sports hernia, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's probably where that name came from.
Doc, the other name, I believe, for that is called athletic pubalgia. So it's another athletes, and then the pubis, and then algia just means pain.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting. Is
very.
If you could grade, would you rather have a sports hernia or a traditional hernia from everything, the operation, the recovery?
I don't know, because I've never had either. So, the traditional hernia can be worse for you if you get an incarcerated piece of bowel stuck in there. So. But traditionally, I mean, people, get that taken care of, and you don't have any issue. Sports hernia is kind of like it's kind of ambiguous a little bit. So sometimes it's harder to treat in that sense, But if you have a hernia, you know what it is.
And they push it back in, put mesh on it.
Yeah, put mesh on it and repair the rent in the fascia. Yes.
Yeah, interesting. All right, Doc, I saw something today. Obviously, we're all brushing up on football and schedules. Did I see later this season the Maryland Terrapins are going to host the Towson State football squad?
Yeah, this is probably the third time, I think.
I think it's the fourth.
Yeah.
I looked it up
Is
today.
the fourth? Okay, fourth
the
time.
Fourth.
Yeah.
All right,
nice.
You got to be going to that, don't you?
Typically I go. Yeah, typically I go.
Let's go.
What are we wearing? Your buddy coaches Maryland.
I try to be neutral. It's all black and gold. Because for the
just wear a white shirt.
The Maryland
white. You'll
exactly.
be good,
yeah. The Maryland state colors are black, gold, and red. Now Towson doesn't have any red in it, but Maryland's all black and gold and red. So I'll be able to figure out something.
Now will you go as Coach Lockley's guest or go on your Towson alumni guest list? Or how you going to play that?
I like being up in the box. The only way I'm being on the box is with Lockley. So with Lockley's family. Hey, that's what I do.
Hey, Pat, that sounds good because can you imagine Maryland in the fall must be a beautiful area.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's the best time of the year for Maryland.
Pat, we need to make that trip. Hey, Pat, we wake up.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
We wake up in the state of Maryland. It's about 58. Oh man,
they got the leaves changing. Man, it's awesome.
That sounds so fake right now. What is 58 degrees? What are you talking about, Terry?
Doc, did you on your excursion, all those places on vacation, did you catch bad heat? I mean, you came back to a stifling humidity here.
They think it's hot and humid over there, but they got nothing on this here. Woo! This is hell, really.
This is.
It is.
We had a show this week. I got talking. I don't care if the chief himself, our meteorologist from the TV station, walked in and he backed it up with numbers. I don't care if anybody says August is the hottest. I think July has always been the hottest month. Man, it is nasty the last week outside.
It is. Woo. Can't get away from it.
Hopefully, we've got these last few days. Hopefully that does not carry over to August, but we'll see.
It's got to lighten up. All right, Doc and Pat, let's all have thoughts of a fall football game in Maryland, and we got a nice long sleeve shirt, a sweater on top.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
It's crisp outside. Oh my God!
It's quarter zip. That's quarter zip weather.
That's right.
Finally, pull out the QZ.
That is nice. Hey Doc, good stuff, man. Glad you're back safe and sound. And
thank you, sir.
Well, thanks for coming on a non-traditional day. We'll do it next week.
It's fun, man. It's fun. I'll see you next week. You guys have a great one.
You got it, buddy.
Appreciate you.
Bates. Boy, he's awesome. Boy, what a fun. Sounds like he had a great vacation.
He's the man.
He is great, isn't he, Pat? All right, guys, what's up? Let's take a break.
I wish I could have met him sooner through, I had my sports injuries and whatnot. And he just explains things so well.
He does. He really does. And we enjoy He's a big part of our show, and so are our good friends over at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Remember, their Bumps and Bruises clinics will be opening up very, very soon. All fall, every Saturday, there'll be multiple locations. We'll tell you where you can take your sports athlete, high school football, band member, any sports, high school sports or activity can go on Saturdays. Get professional observation, diagnosis. It's a great offering in our community, offered every fall by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. All right, let's take a break, come back, start wrapping things up. We'll get back to the North Carolina to the SEC talk we kicked off a moment ago, and any new Major League Baseball trades that may have happened, as the trade deadline has about 28 minutes left. That and a whole lot more. Starting to wrap it up on a Thursday, presented by Sliders Oyster Bar.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Okay, let's welcome you back here. Final segment. Going to take this plane and land this bad boy at 6 o'clock, which also will mean the Major League Baseball trade deadline will land. About 18 minutes left. There have been some big trades. The big bat, the big home run hitter Suarez has gone to Seattle by way of Arizona. He takes 37 home runs, I think it is, and 87 RBI. This guy's going to finish.
Isn't that nice, man?
How about that? You go pick up if you're Seattle a guy that's going to finish the season with 52 home runs and about $125 RBI.
Yeah, man. I think making a move like that, you can't guarantee it, but I would like to think that their chances of making a good run have increased tremendously, adding that bat to the lineup. So always good to see, and I'm happy for this guy, for him as well, because he's proven he's gonna get paid. My man gonna get paid some moolah, Terry.
Definitely. And, baseball this time of year is one of those, I guess it always pays, I guess, to have a good wife. But, boy, if you're a baseball player right now and you just got traded, and Casey and I were talking about a lot of these times, these trades are just rent a bat or rent an arm, because the team that goes and trades for the guy is really just trying to bolster until the end of the year. They don't want to take on the big contract or the next contract, right? So that player, let's say that a bunch of these players got, a couple of 6 and 8 year old kids and all, but you may be at your new hangout for 2 months, 2.5 months, and so you're not going to move your whole family. So, man, it pays to have a good wife, I bet you, if you got a family. You'd have to leave them behind.
Oh, yeah, but I know the NBA does trade stuff like.
Go ahead. We lost you a little bit there, Pat.
The young household.
All right, we'll let Pat get a little bit closer in range. Hey, buddy, you there? Yeah, he was going to add into that. When he gets in a different range, he'll jump back in. I wanted to get back to the North Carolina to the SEC talk. I think this has gotten legs. There have been some reports surfacing the last couple of weeks that North Carolina might be doing some back channel snooping around. If you take Notre Dame out of the mix, okay, Notre Dame's its own entity, and we know what Notre Dame is. We know what Notre Dame represents. We know the value of Notre Dame. There's no doubting any of that. Notre Dame is a in a stratosphere by itself. I'm going to move Notre Dame in the not realistic. Okay, so if you're the SEC, or if you're just college athletics, and you look at the entire landscape of realistic goals for expansion, I am convinced easily the number one program in the country that's gettable now. Ohio State's not gettable. Alabama's not gettable. But teams in the ACC and teams in the Big 12 are certainly gettable. I think North Carolina is by far the crown jewel of the gettable program. I think they bring just about everything you want to your conference. I think North Carolina, and I think it's a foregone conclusion. The next time the SEC expands, and they will, and it will be no later than 10 years. It'll probably be 5 years. I think within 5 years the SEC expands again. And that
who else with North Carolina?
I'm not sure. You probably want to go in twos, to keep things even. You don't have to. But Pat, before we get to who else, I think North Carolina, now move Notre Dame to the side. Notre Dame I don't think is gettable by any. I think North Carolina checks every SEC box.
Absolutely.
It's the big, bad, arrogant, strong bully of their state. I mean, that's the University of North Carolina. They've got deep Southern roots, which means deep money. They've got passion. Would you agree with me? And I don't want to make you say North Carolina. I think North Carolina is the number one fish out there, and the SEC will gobble them up the minute that grant of rights thing is over.
I would say absolutely, because their football is not on a super competitive level. Like where would you put them in the SEC football wise right now, Terry? What would you midway maybe? They're
in the middle they'd be in the middle of the pack. They're probably
not better than the Gators. They're better than Vandy. They're better than Mississippi State. Not better than South Carolina or LSU. And I just bring that up to see they might have a year, but North Carolina has a streak of winning a national championship in some sport.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a record that will never be beat. So, they bring in instant, more than just basketball, more than just football, competitive sports. Like, that's another reason why. And they have history, they have prestige. Obviously, going to play in Chapel Hill is going to be a huge thing. Addition to the SEC, they can get money. They got plenty of great pros.
Yeah.
And great boosters. All the things.
Plenty. And Pat, I think North Carolina is the plum on the tree. I don't think it's close. And I think if you're the SEC, you get North Carolina 500 times before you ahead of FSU or Clemson. I know other people are going to say Clemson and FSU. I think North Carolina is way more attractive than FSU or Clemson.
Yeah.
I also think
North Carolina more than Florida State for sure.
Yeah.
But, I'm not mad at all at Florida State being a part.
I
don't hate that at all.
Wouldn't be at all. Nor would I. I think North Carolina has everything we talked about. They've got money. They've got old money. They've got Southern tradition. They've got history. You know what else they've got that the SEC, I think, really likes? North Carolina, even though they're an Atlantic Coast Conference program, North Carolina has SEC arrogance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, North Carolina, it's the brand.
Especially in basketball.
It's the brand. It's and they're one of those brands also. Obviously, Jordan immensely helped their brand. But North Carolina, if Michael Jordan never went to Carolina, for some reason, the kids think that color scheme is really cool. I do too. I think their stuff looks good. You see that stuff when you used to go to the mall, you'd see North Carolina gear. Now, a lot of it was Jordan.
Yeah.
But it looks good. It looks hip. It looks cool. It's crisp. It's
North Carolina. They're the reason why the Gators can't have like an off-color blue, lighter blue for jerseys or something. Because I would much prefer that than the black. I hate the black in every sport. Get rid of black.
I do too.
But that Argyle had an impression on me. I think I had a pair of UNC shorts at one point or something like that in my life, and then I was like, why am I wearing North Carolina stuff? I don't like this school.
Yeah. They've got that deep Southern. Well, we're better because we're better than you. They've got, and I think, the SEC, it just means more. The SEC likes that. They like that we're up here, and we do. You see what I'm doing with my nose? We do our nose a little bit like that at you.
Yes.
Because we're North Carolina. Hey, we're not Clemson. North Carolina looks at Clemson like Alabama looks at Auburn. Oh, you're just you're the agriculture country, right? You're Auburn.
That kind of hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts.
That's how they, but that's the SEC. The SEC looks at the ACC like that, right?
Right.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
The SEC and North Carolina, out of everybody in that conference, they're the ones that, North Carolina's sitting here going, wait a minute. Are we on par with the biggest boys in the SEC right now? No, but let us become an SEC team and let us go out and build as put the SEC on our resume, and we're North Carolina. We'll take our chances.
Got it.
We'll go out there and take our chance. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. And you make a point. Will it be 2? Will it be 4? If the SEC is thinking real progressive, do they go ahead and get up to? Do they go 4 more? Do they go 6? I think ultimately.
At what point, Terry, do you think? Let's just say, to your point, let's say the SEC extends to 20 teams, as does the Big Ten. All right, let's make a Super League, guys. Come on, we don't need to just keep plucking. Let's just all get together. We're at 20. Let's do our own thing here. At what point does the league? Do you think that happens as both leagues are expanding?
I'll interject one thing. I think the number will ultimately be 24 each. I think it will be 24 each.
24?
I think you're going to, now that might be 10 years, but I think within 10 years, the SEC, within 10 years, the SEC and the Big Ten will be 24. That's your big 48, and that's your Super League of college/professional football. That's where I think it ultimately goes. Now, will it be one more cycle to jump to 20 and then 24? I don't know. Jumping from 16 to 24 may be too much at one time. I get that.
I think we need both.
I could see 4 and 4 though. I could see 4, and then 5 years later 4 more, and then I don't think you change. I think you cruise for 50 years. I think you cruise. For 50
years. For sure. See how it goes. Why at that point? I don't think the Super League. I don't think they play any more small schools ever again. I think that's done at that point.
I totally agree with you. And it needs to be. I say it all the time. You know what? As bad as some of the NFL bad teams are every year, there's still NFL teams. You're still the worst an NFL team ever does is play another NFL team. They don't play a AAA team.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Not picking at Dr. Bates, but the Marylands of the world can't keep playing Towson State. You just can't.
No, they can't.
Right. You just Florida.
Right.
Florida, modern professional college, and I always say that now, professional college football. The Florida Gators, the SEC, cannot play Long Island much more. I'm sorry, that's who they open up with. You cannot play the Long Island Sharks and want to sanction that as a football game very much longer. It's asinine. This is professional college football, and you just can't. And
yes,
all the little school come back. Well, that's how they fund themselves. Well, it's not Florida or the SEC's place to fund a small school.
No,
it's not. But
what does it really do for a school, Terry?
Well,
for a big school, other than the mindset, it helps us get reps in or whatever. Like, don't you want to say, look, Jordan Travis?
Yeah,
he was playing in one of those money games.
Yeah,
and that ended up ruining his career.
Yeah. It also, if you're Anheuser-Busch, you're an international beer company. It's not your place to help the local beer brewery that just started and they brew their own beer. It's not your place.
Right.
Well,
right.
Or if you're now, I'm fine if I go to a restaurant chain and they carry a local beer. But it's not the restaurants chain that's all over the country. It's not their place to say, we're going to carry this local beer and help them. That's not their place. If they want to, that's fine. But
no,
yeah.
No, it's not.
Long Island's got to come
exactly.
off. The Long Island.
And that's why situations like that, Terry. That's why you're taking a smaller, they charge whatever fees. That's the cost of doing business with us. We're doing you a favor.
Yeah. Well, right now, to get back to one of your questions, well, kind of why do they do it now? Well, certainly you got to play somebody, and you want to play a home game. You want to play more home games than road games. Your city, you want to help your city, your college town thrive. But the SEC could immediately go to get rid of every non-Power 4 game on their schedule and play more in conference. But as Sankey says, they don't want to get punished for doing that. Right now, if they did that, they would theoretically be getting punished. So but no, getting back, I think North Carolina they're in a great spot. And remember, Pat, when our show we're in our third year now, I think, on this show. When we started this show, that Clemson FSU ACC lawsuit stuff was starting. Remember that? They were arguing and grant of rights, and it's going to cost you. Okay, you can leave, but it's going to cost you $550 million. That's $500 million. That was all starting, and I can remember you and I talking about it, and we said, you know who's loving this? Is all the other programs that are letting FSU and Clemson run interference. They ran the interference and sat in front of the judges, and they got that, and we all knew they were going to win. You say nobody won because it was a settlement? No, the schools won, and every school that wants to move won because they knocked that 550. That's going to end up being maybe $100 million by the time somebody moves. And North Carolina was sitting back. 5 years ago they were going, you know what? You could see the writing on the wall. We've got to get out of this conference.
Yep.
And North Carolina said, go run all the interference you want, FSU and Clemson. Yeah, we're going to look back. And Clemson and Florida State, what they did is going to be one of the big moves that really moved the needle on super conferences. Don't you agree?
Yep. I agree. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's interesting how all this stuff, we might not really, that's why I'm grateful that we're in this industry.
Yeah.
The average fan would not look back and pinpoint that really was a snowball that's going to lead to so many different things. But I'm grateful to kind of see that part of things. And more than anything, man, we got 24 days until the college season kicks off.
Yeah, and
I know we got NFL football up sooner than that, but you got
a fake game tonight,
man. I can't wait to see it.
Tonight's your first fake game in the NFL.
Is it? Hey, let's go.
Hall of Fame game tonight.
Let's go.
How about that?
I'm watching.
Hey, man, you got to do.
Gonna have me a cold beer.
Nice. Hey,
cold beer.
We got about 1 minute left, but Pat, we say this every summer, I think. But my man, you got to do something about this humidity outside. Man, it's got to break, man. It is hot,
dude.
You got to do something.
I try. Sometimes I'm like, I feel bad if I want to just stay in the house instead of go somewhere, and then I go outside for 5 minutes, and I'm like, Pat, why do you feel bad? This is hell, yes, Dr. Barrett.
Yeah. Hey, are you ever inside and maybe watch the TV or whatever, and it's not, you're inside your house, it's cool, you feel the air blowing, it's so comfortable, it feels good, and then the moment is ruined because you go, oh my God, what's my electric bill going to be? What's the electric bill going to be?
Yeah, I know, right?
But you got to keep it cool, man. Right?
My mom's been getting on me here recently because we use our washer and dryer a lot. So, goodness, and she's not going to air dry no clothes. My mom ain't going to do that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've gotten pretty good in the summertime when I'm doing. Let's say I'm washing towels or like maybe my dog towels or my car towels. I'll wash those bad boys and I'll throw them on my fence in the backyard. I ain't gonna waste electricity on a bunch of towels cleaning.
There you go.
That's West Side.
Dude, it'll lay just as well. Just don't forget it outside.
Yeah, and the only thing about that, when you air dry like that, your stuff tends to stiffen up a little bit. Your towels and all, they get stiff. You got to, now once they get wet again, they loosen up. They get stiff like that. But hey, I can tell you how many times I went to the clothesline when I was a kid. My mom or grandma would say, write me a note, Terry, when you get home from school, go get those clothes off that line. That was our dryer. That was our dryer, man.
Love that.
All right, PY, good stuff, man. Enjoy.
You were the dryer.
Yes.
You were the dryer.
What's the dryer? Hey, buddy, good stuff. Boy, Dr. Bates was a lot of fun, as always, wasn't he? Great dude.
Yep, always, man. Can't wait to hang out with him again sometime soon.
We need to soon. Definitely need to soon. All right, that'll wrap it up. He is Patrick Young. He's everywhere. You know that. And he's here 4 to 6 weekdays right here on the Young and Norvelle Show. I'm Terry Norvelle. Also, in addition to Dr. Bates, I want to thank Casey Kurtz for making this show rock and roll from world headquarters. All right, we'll get it together and do it again tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Special thanks again as we get out of here. Our friends at Sliders Oyster Bar, Deanna and Chris, I let them know, went through some medical stuff on Friday. I'm recouping. Everything's fine, but I've been doing the show from the house. We're normally on the patio at Sliders. We'll be there next Thursday at our home in Neptune Beach, Sliders Oyster Bar. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at